Well, it's Monday on the show, and you know what that means. It's time for a Raw review. Okay. Well, it's Monday on the show, and you know what that means. So let's just get right into it. Raw was in Laredo, Texas. Uh, so Raw opened up. There was a scene with Roman Reigns and the Usos seated at a table talking. Reigns said he knows the past is the past, and they are his blood. Reigns said that they are the only ones he trusts. Reigns said that everybody has 2 years while he took a back seat, and now he's back on top as the World Heavyweight Champion. Jimmy says he understands what Jacob is saying, but it shouldn't come at Roman Reigns' expense. Jay said that Jacob is dangerous, and the Usos talked about how Fatu took out the MFTs one by one. And Jay said if Roman beats you, then he takes it all, and he's the shot killer now. And Jay said that this is it. Jay said there has to be consequences. Roman Reigns said that they aren't doing charity, and he thanked Jay. Jay and then Reigns said he's going to chew on that, make it his own, and address it later. So I don't know if they're trying to make the bloodline a thing again. I mean, that was kind of bloodline was a thing for a long time, but I don't know. We still got the Judgment Day. That's still a thing too. So I don't know how I want to see another bloodline reunion. Because the Usos are doing fine on their own as a tag team. And then the Raw officially opened up with Seth Rollins. He walked out for a promo. Rollins talked about Gunther beating him at WrestleMania and not because of Gunther. Rollins said that there's a reason Roman Reigns is walking around with his world title, and it's not because Reigns beat Rollins. Rollins said his issues are because of Braun Breaker. Rollins mentioned Braun had a cut in the back of his head because of Rollins, and he called Braun out right there. Braun walked out with Paul Heyman. Rollins said he gave Braun everything on the silver platter, and Braun took everything away from him. Rollins said Braun is the reason that Seth had to forfeit the world title, why Rollins didn't main event WrestleMania, and why Rollins didn't get his hand raised at WrestleMania this past year. And then Braun said that him and Reed were like the errand boys for Rollins. Braun said that they needed Rollins to fight his battles. Braun mocked Rollins for regurgitating the same promo every single week. That was funny. Braun said he never needed Rollins and his vision. Braun said that they are standing here because Braun needed Heyman. Rollins called Heyman a dried up sack of meat. And then Rollins said you proved everything that Rollins said you proved everything that Rollins thought was right. Rollins talked about how he was World Heavyweight Champion. He wanted to fight the best. Rollins called Shawn Michaels and wanted to face the best. So Shawn said Braun, and Rollins liked that. Rollins talked about Paul Heyman wanting Rollins to take Breakker out under his wing. Rollins said Breakker has it all. Rollins praised Breakker for being unique as the biggest, strongest, fastest, and most versatile athlete he's ever seen in 14 years. Rollins said you have everything to be the biggest star except the most important thing, the mind. Rollins said he knows what it means to be a 28-year-old not wanting to wait for anybody and bet on yourself. Rollins said that Braun tries, but Rollins succeeds, and Rollins let him know. Rollins said that every time he bet on himself, it ended up in a world championship or main event. Rollins said that Braun got Austin Theory and Logan Paul and steak dinners from Paul Heyman. Rollins told Braun he is not ready. Braun talked about how before this was a thing, he was on his way to become a main event, and he didn't need Rollins. Braun said he wanted to blame him for Seth Rollins losing the world title, but the truth is Seth's body can't handle it. His body is too brittle, and his shoulders can't handle the weight of a strap on it anymore. Braun said that he believes everything Rollins says about himself. Braun said Rollins is the best pro wrestler in the entire world at being number 2. And then Rollins referred to him as Baby Steiner. Rollins asked if Braun came up with that on his own, or if he called Big Pump a Pump. Rollins mentioned Backlash is 2 weeks away, and he'll give Braun the opportunity to prove that he is ready. And Rollins told Steiner he is not he's not even number 2 in his family. This promo exchange was really good. I like how Braun Breaker's promos are starting to really stand out. So, and Braun Breaker is really good, and the segment was good. Seth Rollins is kind of passing the torch onto him. And then after that, Stephanie Vaquer was walking backstage, and Raquel attacked her with a cheap attack. Roxanne rolled an equipment case into Vaquer. Liv Morgan, the women's world champion, told Vaquer that this is over because this is her championship. So I'm wondering if they're doing like an injury angle where Stephanie would be out for a while, unless she comes back in a couple of weeks and challenges Liv Morgan for the title. But it looks like that feud's going to continue because Liv Morgan hasn't really got anything going on for her right now. Penta made his entrance as the IC champion. It was Penta versus Rusev. This match was 11 minutes, and Penta rolled up Rusev with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll up for the pinfall win. It was competitive. Rusev looked like a threat when he's out there, but he doesn't seem to get the wins, especially in the big matches. After the match, though, Rusev knocked down Penta with a forearm into the back and some slumps. Paige went into the ring and wanted to join in, but Rusev stared at Paige, so Paige backed off, Ethan Page. Oh yeah, then Ethan Page was also on commentating. Forgot to mention that, but yeah. And then Page helped Rusev and knocked down Penta. Javon Evans made the save as Evans sent Rusev out of the ring and hit a springboard clothesline on Page. Penta super kicked Rusev, and Evans jumped off the top with an OG cutter on Rusev. Evans and Penta shook hands and raised their hands together. So, and then there was a promo shown from El Grande Americano along with Rayo Bravo. They're promoting the Mask vs. Mask match at a AAA show. And then Becky Lynch made her entrance. So Becky Lynch bragged about making history at WrestleMania 42. Lynch said she finally got rid of that loser AJ Lee and ended her horrible title reign. Lynch said she truly deserved the title. Lynch became the first person to win 4 different titles at WrestleMania and became the first 3-time Women's IC champion. And Lynch said she has won more matches at WrestleMania than any other woman. Lynch did her usual routine about being the greatest, and then then Lynch did some heel work, and then the great Io Sky made her entrance. Sky was cheered. Sky said she accepts Lynch's. Lynch asked to accept what? Lynch said Sky is new, shiny, or exciting. Lynch wanted Lynch Lynch opened up her title to and Lynch claimed she was the man of the people. She issued an open title to whoever wants to come out there. Lynch said that she wanted Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. Sky punched Lynch and kicked her out of the ring. Raw GM interrupted to say that this was official. So yeah, so it was Becky Lynch versus Io Sky. The match was getting pretty interesting. Lynch went out of the floor, so Sky hit an Asian moonsault onto Lynch. Sky tried to move on Lynch, but Asuka tripped up Sky on the apron. Lynch hit a manhandle slam for the pinfall win after 13 minutes. It was a great match between the two. It was yeah. But I guess this continues the story of Asuka being jealous of Io Sky, and it cost Sky the match. And we'll never know how the Kairi Sane and Asuka story would have went, because they released Kairi Sane this past Friday. If you didn't see my video, I did a video of all the releases. So yeah, but yeah, because when Zayn would have turned on Asuka, that would have been like a huge reaction. And then after the match, Asuka went into the ring and hit a roundhouse kick. Asuka applied the Asuka lock on Sky for the submission. The referee pulled Asuka off. The fans were chanting, "We want Kairi" for the released Kairi Sane, so that has blown up all over online. It's like when they released R-Truth and people wanted R-Truth back, and they did like the whole social media online thing. So now they're yeah, and then the fans are gonna hijack the show and do "We Want Kyrie," which I'm all for it, cause yeah. And then Rey Mysterio was approached by the original El Gran Americano, who mentioned his big AAA match on May 30th. Original asked Rey if he had to watch his back. Rey said he just wants to respect history, and El Grande and Rey Mysterio argued a bit, and they're in the match. And then the Usos were interviewed by Brian Saxton. Jimmy said that Roman Reigns will make his decision when he wants, and then LA Knight reminded them of who they are, noting that Jey Uso became world champion on his own. Knight tried to hype up Jimmy too. The Usos told Knight that it's family business. And Knight said that the power of the bloodline eventually corrupts, and when it does, it becomes Knight's business. So I don't know what entirely they're doing, if they're turning the Usos and Roman Reigns heel, but and then next up was the debuting Joe Hendry. So Joe Hendry did not get much of a pop last night on Raw. So they went from he was like the biggest star on like TNA. His song went viral everywhere, and he was like a mega star. Then he went on to NXT and did some stuff. But now he's on the main roster, and yeah, he didn't get. His reaction was not that great. So they managed to turn Henry into an afterthought. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Joe Henry came out with a guitar. He did a concert. He sang that he signed to Raw. He referenced others like the Ruler and the OTC. Joe said he wanted one change, and he asked if they could fire Logan Paul. The fans chanted in, Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? And then Logan Paul came out, and he was irate. Paul told Henry he's awful, and the fans are awful. Paul told Joe he had the worst mistake of his life. Theory pointed out that the goal that they had. Theory said that they are winners. The fans didn't argue with it. Joe said he saw a couple of primetime losers at WrestleMania. Paul and Theory cleared the ring. Theory said that the mat and the camera belonged to the Vision. Theory shoved Joe, so Joe faced the camera, and Joe hit a clothesline. Logan and Theory attacked Joe, so they knocked Joe down. And the Street Profits came in for a save. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about Joe Henry being on Raw. I thought the concert was kind of a little bit silly, but I guess it is entertainment. So next up was Rey Mysterio versus El Gran Americano. It was a 9-minute match with Rey Mysterio winning. The original came in and cost Grande the win. Rey doesn't win that often, so it's fine for him to get a win like this. And then after the match, there was a fight between the original and El Gran Americano. So two matches are official for Backlash. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Io Sky versus Asuka, which I think that would be a damn good match. Asuka and I was about to say Ivy Sane. Asuka and Io Sky were featured in a video where they spoke in Japanese, and the words were translated on the screen that they'll have a Backlash match. And then Oba Femi versus Grayson Waller. You know what's going to happen. It was a squash match. Femi hit a fall from Grace for the pinfall win, about 2 minutes. Oba said he was feeling good. Femi talked about opportunities. Femi announced that as of today, the Oba Femi Open Challenge will commence. Femi said that anybody in the back who wants a challenge, step up. Femi said that when you step into the ring with him, you are stepping up with the ruler. So the Judgment Day trio of Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Roxanne were backstage. Liv apologized to Perez about how things went down with Finn while Perez was at home. Liv says she watched Finn bring Perez into the Judgment Day. And Liv said that they are family and she wanted to support Perez as Perez supports her. Liv asked Perez if she trusted her, and Perez nodded her head. Liv left. Finn Balor walked in the screen telling Perez you can't trust Liv or anybody in the Judgment Day. Perez says she's with the Judgment Day, so that she told Balor to get out of there before he gets hurt. So one of the finally teasing the betrayal. So next match was the Judgment Day with Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, with Liv Morgan versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I like Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, but they sure don't get a lot of wins as a tag team. As they lost this match in 10 minutes. And this was Roxanne's hometown, so the fans were actually cheering her. I was confused at first why they were cheering her. She's supposed to be a heel, but yeah, so Roxanne and Rodriguez got the win, and then there was a video about Soruka. She will sign to Monday Night Raw officially next week, so that'll be good to see. And then next is the main event segment, which I thought this segment was really good. Roman Reigns finished the long entrance. Roman said it's been a while since he's been here in Texas. Reigns said that they loved their tribal chief, but there was more OTC chants. Reigns said that they made this title in spite of him. Reigns said they made this title to take away from his shine. Reigns said that the title doesn't make the man, the man makes the title. And Reigns said that's what he's done with this strap. Reigns said he puts this title in the main event of night 2, and he made this title relevant, and then Jacob Fatu interfered, and Jacob Fatu's promo was really good. Fatu said he didn't need a week. Fatu said he didn't need a day or an hour to think about it. Fatu said he knows exactly what he wanted when he came out there last Monday. Fatu said he doesn't want that title. He needs that title. Fatu said that Reigns must be stuck in his main event bubble. Fatu said he's been grinding for 12 years, not knowing what the next meal would be. Fatu said that they were running the bloodline. Fatu was broke and trying to figure out if he would be there. Fatu said is where you start, is where you finish. Reigns said Fatu is completely confused. And then Fatu said that Roman, Jimmy, and Jay didn't call him, but Solo Sikoa gave him a chance. Reigns said that Fatu is completely confused or dumber than he thinks. Reigns said that Solo couldn't get a cup of coffee delivered. Reigns said that the OTC runs his place. He was a bit distracted and things got hectic. And then Fatu attacked Reigns by grabbing him by the throat. Reigns broke 3, so Fatu put his hands around Roman Reigns' throat again. Fatu told Reigns he'll take everything from him. Fatu held up the world title, and then he tossed the title away. That was a good set. That made Jacob look like really strong to take down Roman Reigns. So I'm glad they're pushing Jacob Fatu, even though he's probably not going to win. Roman Reigns is probably going to have that title for a while. But yeah, and then Roman Reigns addressed Fatu, said, "You want me at Backlash? I'll see you at Backlash." So that'll be the main event of Backlash, and yeah, that was Raw. So Raw, well, they advanced some stories. The Reigns of Fatu story. Yeah. And yeah, so the good. So I would say the good on this show was the Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, Oba Femi, and yeah, and the Becky Lynch and Io Sky match, and then the bad was Rey Mysterio and El Gran Americano, even though it was a good match, but I wasn't invested in it. And then the ugly, I would have to say, was the Joe Hendry concert. I don't know, it was a bit too silly for me, and then he had like no reaction, which is pretty terrible considering that he was like a big thing at one point. But yeah, but that's your Raw show. Let me know what you think. Yeah. And yeah. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.